Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
It's dangerous. It's annoying.
Some people living in Grandin, North Dakota are worried. They tell us the train that goes through their small town parks at an area that blocks both crossings that connect the town. They reached out to our whistleblower hotline with their concerns, saying it's dangerous that this happens so often. Valley News Team's Maddie Joseph investigates.
Grandin, North Dakota is a town of just 170 people, and this town is split by a railroad track. Residents say a train sits and blocks both crossings that connect the east and western part of town.
Certainly would be a problem for the fire engines or ambulances trying to get off the interstate and go across to something on the east side of town.
In Grandin, they have 4 tracks within the 2-block area. BNSF says trains use those siding tracks to allow other trains to pass on the mainline track. This means those railroad crossings will be occupied until the trains depart. One resident told me she waited 45 minutes just to get over the railroad tracks, and she says this is very dangerous for people who live on the other side.
The people that live on the eastern part of the tracks, we feel worried as far as fire, emergency services, and things like that.
Lockhart says this hasn't always been an issue.
It used to be that when they dropped off cars, they would uncouple them and, open at least one crossing.
She says if BNSF can do this again, it'll help the welfare of people living on the other side of the railroad tracks. Because now, people are taking a long detour just to get to the other side.
Why should we have to? I don't understand why they just keep sitting and sitting and sitting when they should be able to open at least one of the crossings for us.
BNSF says they urge residents to call their 800 number in an emergency event so their crews can disconnect rail cars and open up the crossings. In Grandin, Maddie Joseph, Valley News Live.
BNSF also says they try to minimize the impact of operations on local communities, and they'll work to reduce the time these 2 crossings are occupied. As mentioned, this story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. If you need help dealing with an issue in your community, call us 701-237-6576. You can leave your tip, and then a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. Flooding in Norman County, Minnesota has led to several roads shutting down, and this bridge just northwest of Ada along County Road 18 has collapsed. Officials say pressure from ice buildup on the water ultimately caused the steel icebreaker that protects the wood piles to break.
We have a piling station north of here that most of our sugar beets go to this fall, and I don't know how long it's going to take them to get a new bridge in here, but so yeah, it's going to affect us. We might have to go to an alternate piling station.
We will have more on this tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Community-wide support in Mandan today for the 4 people murdered at a business there last Monday. A fleet of vehicles from RJR Maintenance and Management made its way through the city in honor of those 4 colleagues, Robert Faulkner, William and Lois Cobb, and Adam Fuhrer. Many people in the Mandan community also paid their respects at a combined memorial service today at Bismarck Community Church. The man charged with killing all 4 at RJR is 44-year-old Chad Isaac, a Washburn chiropractor. He lived on property managed by RJR. Police in Bemidji are investigating a shooting that left 1 man injured. This past Sunday, police got a call for shots fired in the northwest part of the city. When they arrived, they found an 18-year-old man shot in the leg. He was taken to a hospital. No other information is available at this time, but police don't believe there's any danger to the public. However, if you have any information, you're urged to call Bemidji Police at 218-333-9111. Here's the scene driving southbound on Interstate 29 near Grandin, North Dakota. Water is inundating the fields and ditches in that area, covering some of the trees and prompting road crews to place road closed signs in the more dangerous areas. The last thing we need is more moisture, but that potent winter storm that's about to hit parts of the country is also headed to our neck of the woods. Hutch, any concerns for this evening?
Yeah, this evening we still have that north wind, a few clouds, but other than that, being cooler than average, we're seeing 20s and 30s as we head into the evening hours presently. Showers of rain down to the south as low pressure is just now developing in the central Colorado Rockies, and that will be responsible for the wintry weather. Yeah, there are some concerns for our area, but not tonight. Winter storm watches in our region, our southern counties primarily, and near blizzard conditions in our far southern communities in northeast South Dakota are likely to take hold as this storm system moves through. Now, models do not agree totally on this storm system, but as we go through Thursday and into Friday morning, heavy snow, heaviest down to the south. Some could see over 6 inches of wet, heavy snow. That'll be combined with wind. Here's the American model, and it shows a similar trajectory. Here's a look at your planner for tonight, though. Slipping into the 20s by bedtime. North winds 5 to 15 miles per hour for Fargo, and we'll be in the 20s as well in Grand Forks. It looks fairly quiet for now. Enjoy it while it lasts. Hour by hour details on your forecast in a moment.
All right. Thanks, Hutch. A Fargo man is now facing over a dozen felony charges after police say they found over 500 files of child pornography on his electronic devices. 32-year-old Travis Storstead is charged with 17 counts of possession of child porn. Police searched his apartment, finding a small bag and syringe of meth, plus marijuana and items connected to making bombs. Authorities had been investigating Storstead's internet usage after being alerted to his IP address, downloading hundreds of pornographic images. Most of those were of young children engaging in sex acts. There is a warrant out for his arrest. The woman killed in a hit and run early Sunday morning in Grand Forks has been identified. The crash happened near I-29 and Demers Avenue. Police say 39-year-old Christina Melvin was passing through town on a train. They're still searching for the driver who hit her. The vehicle involved in the crash will likely have front end or hood damage. You're urged to call police if you know anything about the driver involved. Authorities have also identified the person killed in a separate crash in Grand Forks. That one involves a 65-year-old pedestrian. Police got a call around 10 last night about a man in the road in the 4300 block of Gateway Drive. They say David Hagan was crossing the road, walking southbound outside of the crosswalk when he was hit by a car. That car was driven by 40-year-old Tyson Sewell of Grand Forks. A raise for Fargo School Superintendent is on the table tonight. During tonight's school board meeting, members are being asked to consider a $10,000 salary increase for Superintendent Rupak Gandhi. The raise would bring his salary to $210,000 for the next school year. The board is also being asked to prorate the raise for the rest of this school year. The salary increase is being discussed now because the superintendent graduates from his doctorate program next month. With Easter right around the corner, you might be decorating your home with some spring plants or flowers. But as Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley found out, one popular Easter flower can be a toxic combination for your cats.
Cats are much more precious than those little lilies.
As pretty as Easter lilies are, if you've got one of these guys roaming around, it's not really a good idea to put them in your home.
Even if they ingest a petal or a leaf or even drink some of the water that contains some lilies, that can be potentially toxic to the kittens and cats.
Dr. Mitchell says eating a lily causes acute kidney failure in cats, saying you'll see side effects of vomiting, loss of appetite, and possibly some litter box issues.
Hospitalization for anywhere from 2 to 4 days is the emergency treatment that is needed.
And that hospital trip will cost you at least $500. Dr. Mitchell adds another problem comes into play if your cat doesn't show any symptoms right away.
If we have a 2 to 3 to 4 day delay, that can provide long-lasting effects to the kidneys and have chronic kidney failure.
She says even if you think your cat is well behaved or you have good hiding skills, it's best not to risk it this Easter season.
Because they are crafty little creatures. They can jump up onto things, they can knock things over, or take a little tiny bite off of a leaf and you wouldn't even know it.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Dr. Mitchell says some variations of lilies can also be toxic to dogs as well, saying the lily of the valley flower causes stomach and intestinal problems.